grows from scale. A lot of it is teaching and different things and time. And this is one of those undervalued right now by their scale. But you know, as far as fighting, it's about half of what it would be. But just want to tell you in that context, and like we said, it's an ongoing process. We're going on to our next brother here.
And we're promoting the fourth gentleman, Jeff Payne, who I've known for a lot of years. Jeff, come on up. Thank you guys very much for coming out tonight. And I wanted to tell a little story. And before I leave off this thing, to tell you how I originally got my black belt. I was about 20 years old, and you know, my brother Mark was a black belt, and every year we would go down to Roger Carpenter had the Kansas State Championships, and Mark called me up and he said, "Hey Jeff, I just got a call from Jim Harrison. He wants to know if you want to fight Bobby Ryan." I don't know if any of you guys know Bobby Ryan. I hope there's no kids in here. He was an asshole. He was an asshole. Let me tell you. And how many guys you know at that time? Bobby did probably. I know Shawn knew Bobby Ryan. Yeah. And when Bobby was probably about 18 years old that day when I fought him. But that night, they had all the winners of the divisions that day in the point tournament were going to fight in the finals that night. And Jim was refereeing, Jim Harrison was refereeing the fights. Well, it just so happens it was Bobby's little brother was fighting somebody. And he was a lot like Bobby, his big brother. And every time Jim would tell him to stop, he'd keep on fighting. So Jim at one point grabbed him and read the riot act to him right there in front of everybody. And next thing I know, I see Bobby Ryan rushing across the gym floor. He gets up and says something to Jim and gets ready to hit him. Jim blocks it, throws him on the ground. But at that time, about 3 people were grabbing Jim and pulling him off of Bobby Ryan. And, you know, they had Jim's arms behind his back. What's Bobby do? He reaches up and bites him on the cheek. This is the guy I'm fighting that night. And, you know, Jim, the only thing he was able to do was kind of reach his arm around. He says, okay, stick his finger in Bobby Ryan's eye. He says, okay, I'll trade you a cheek for an eyeball. But anyway, for backtrack a little bit, right before I got ready to fight Bobby Ryan, I told my brother Mark a few days before that, hey, I want to spar. Mark goes, no, you had to spar. And I said, no, I want to spar. Okay, so what you do right off the bat, he hits me in the nose, breaks my nose. Thanks, Mark. So, but anyway, I gave Bobby Ryan a heck of a fight. For the first time, the first blow he hit me with, he bled my nose and it bled the whole fight. But 6 months after I fought him, I lost a close decision. And 6 months after I fought him, he was a world champion. I can't think of the guy's name down from West Palm Beach that he fought. Steve something. Steve Shepard, that's exactly right. He fought Steve Shepard and beat Steve Shepard. And I went, wow. Well, I just lost a split decision to this guy 6 months ago. But anyway, that's how it was back in our dojo. It was, you know, but anyway, I'll shut up.
Congratulations.
Now this is our dais of honored high ranks, and they're still standing with you in spirit. We're going to let them sit down in the flesh so they can relax their old bones. Except for Stacey Stillwell. Take it over from here. But we just want you guys to see who's behind you. If they don't think you're legit, if we behind you aren't legit, then they don't know anything about martial arts. So now, we used to always say that we got together, we were like the 5 families, you know, the mafia dons, and we had our 5 dojos. It was Steve Kotcher, Steve Stillwell, myself, Fred Watson, and Steve Mackey. And so we would have our sit downs. And then Chris Engels was our consigliere. And so we're going to do that. It's kind of like Harry Potter. We're going to go family by family and let the instructors promote their people. And really, this is just a blessing what we all already know. That's all well deserved and overdue. We're going to go a lot quicker now so that we have time to party later. So this isn't everybody getting your rank tonight. Have another party for yourself. You deserve it. Because you won't get a whole long thing like usual tonight. But we want you to know you deserve it. And just invite us. We'll go.
Okay, Matt Malone. Fourth on. I inherited Matt from Steve Mackey when Steve closed his dojo. Matt came over to my place over on State Line and he had a bag and he, well, I'll tell you what, he fit into the family quite well, pretty immediately. And with David Becker, thanks to David, he just got married last weekend, and I was there. And but Matt has done so much for the Bushido-Kai system. He's worked his butt off. He did full contact, did kickboxing, and he had 10 fights and he won every single one of them. And so he retired at 10-0. He wasn't probably going to retire except for I kind of stepped in and played the role of his dad and said, "You're 10-0. That's you don't need brain damage. We know it yet. So you can move on in life, And Matt was pretty sour toward me. I think you got over it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I just wanted him to stay safe, and that's how it was, because he didn't have anything to prove. I mean, he could fight for a world championship and make several $1,000s. I mean, and that's not, well, nowadays maybe it's more than that. But anyway, but Matt gave everything to the students. He did everything he could to make his dojo better, and I knew that because that was my dojo, and it was our dojo, and so it's fourth song, and I guess you're gonna stay here, and the next one is can you pronounce that name?
Scott Hallock.
Scott Hallock. Scott Hallock. Fourth down. Scott was a Steve Mackey student, and I inherited Scott over to our dojo, and he was kind of a finished project. And as far as in the fighting part of it, he had a few rounds, and he worked in Westport. And he was a professional bouncer, and he won all his fights. And so I learned a lot from Scott. I learned a lot of humility. I learned more from these guys as much as you could. I mean, just the experience and all the day by day, the blood, sweat, and tears. It's for real. 99% of the people in here know this. The blood, sweat, and tears are real, and money isn't. It's not there. So we didn't do it for the money. We didn't do anything for the money. We did it all for pride and helping other people. My wife always has gave me crap before I retired and closed the dojo. And the only thing I ever done with timing that turned out to be right was right before the pandemic in 2019, and the summer of 2019, I decided to close the dojo, and then the pandemic came, so that was crazy. But the thing is, we weren't doing it for the money. We never were. Anyway, so we got these two guys there on the 4th grade. Now I've got another Art Parra. Come on up, Art. Art Parra is the 3rd John, promoted to 3rd John, and congratulations. And Art, well, he beats the crap out of me on a regular basis, and just keep your elbows in, your hands up, and you're all right. And,
I remember that eye gouge.
oh, you remember it? No. Huh?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
We did M&A and I got him on the ground and got the eye gouge. And I go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tapped out.
and he said, that was your dad,
Yeah.
Shawn's dad, Mr. Harrison. I remember him being in a workshop. Go to the bone and go deep. But Art was.
It works.
Art was classic, man. He was old. He was one of the old school people that signed up in the '70s, about the time I did too, and it was he was amazing, and he one of the nicest people you'll ever nicest people you'll ever meet. And my last promotion here is it's my heart. Stacey Stillwell. Stacey, come on out. Stacey's my son. Yeah. See a good looking. Any at all?
Similar haircut.
Yeah. Well, Stacey paid a lot of dues, and he took some heat, and I had a different standard for him, and it turned out really. I looking back, for all you dads and the guys that are, and you're bringing kids up, so don't take it on. Don't make it tougher on your own kid. Maybe make it a little easier or something, because I saw the model from like Mr. Harris, took you guys, he had to work a little bit harder for his rank and what he did, and I didn't really realize it that much until I saw it in his eyes, and I recognized that, and he was in point fighting. Stacey was amazing. He was, when he went to a tournament, he fought for first place if he didn't win first place or not, but he always fought for first place, and he wanted to do full contact. I didn't want him to do that. I already knew, but I already felt some of the trauma, and there's always something. He always got an injury, So I said, no, I want you to get educated and use your brain for your money in life, and he's
Still didn't make any money, guys.
Oh, by the way, yeah.
Things went a little. Should have zigged when I zagged. I don't know, but
Hey, he's got 3 beautiful kids. 3 beautiful kids. And 2 boys and a girl, and Maddie. We've got 5 grandkids. 4 of them are boys, and Maddie is the only girl. And I guarantee you, I will assure you, she's gonna be able to kick somebody's ass if she has to. Because she's a pretty little, good-looking little gal, and it's just part of the thing.
Thank you very much.